Good morning. I am back in the fish room today, just making uh, another video with a few updates, feeding feeding the fish some of their favorite treat, tubifex worms, and you can see the big catfish that I have in here enjoying some. Um, so today, some of the updates that I have are, just following up on some things that I've talked about in previous videos that I haven't been able to actually show. I'm doing a lot of things for the first time this year, and as a first-time user or a doer, I think there's hopefully some useful, you know, tips that, or maybe some experiences that I can show. So firstly, I wanted to update over here. This is the all-female live bearer tank that I have. I have a couple mollies in here, some guppies of 2 different strain, and then I also have some rainbow fish that are continuing to grow out in here before they can go in with the big fish. So this is now on its second round of what's basically levamisole, and I have not seen any further issues of camelanus worms or parasites in this tank since the second treatment. I saw one of the other guppies with a worm hanging out about 5 days after the first treatment, and I had been doing water change, so I just did a water change and then treated again for the second treatment a little early. And then now this week will be the third treatment, which most people say is enough, but I'm just gonna kind of be cautious and see how it goes. So far, I would say it's been an excellent experience with levamisole. I still have no fish losses. Parameters have been solid. One thing that I was a little bit bummed about, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see her. Yeah, you can see her way in the back there. I have an albino female guppy that I am hoping to get fry from. I know she was pregnant and was fixing to get ready to have babies. I think something with the treatment of the medication caused her to, not have babies. I noticed her stomach is a lot smaller now than it used to be, and she doesn't have that dark patch in the back anymore, and those were definitely things that I could see prominently earlier. And so I've heard and read that guppies can sort of reabsorb babies and fry if they're stressed, and I would guess that that's what happened. So, but she's eating, she seems super healthy, so I'm hoping I can just get her back with the male for a little bit and then try for fry again. So if you run into parasites, camelanus worms specifically, couldn't recommend levamisole enough for you. Okay, so next up, what I've been doing a lot of as the weather has turned nice is more and more live food cultures for my fish. And I've got a couple different types going, but one of the kind that you don't have to do outdoors that I have been struggling with for a while, they're called vinegar eels. And the reason I got into them is because everybody said they were so simple. And I think in the end, I would agree with them that they are very simple. But one of the things that I found is that it took a very long time for my culture to get going to the point where I could even see anything. And I have one of my cultures right here. You can see a fly has already fallen into it, but I don't know that I'm gonna have much luck, and I'm not, so I won't waste much effort. A lot of times what you'll do is shine a flashlight through this culture, but what this is 50% dechlorinated tap water, 50% apple cider vinegar, add a culture of existing vinegar eels in with an apple, and wait. And there are literally millions of vinegar eels in this cup. Sorry, I have a cat problem again, so give me 1 second. So one way that really helps you see if you have a culture or how many you have in your culture is just putting a light through the middle of it. And once you have vinegar eels, you can see there's not going to be mistaking, do I have them or don't I have them? You will know. You can see all those tiny little microscopic things moving. And that's how I've been keeping my new fish fry alive. And let me tell you what, it has been a game changer. One of the things I'm going to update next in this video is that I'm one of the special people in the world, I guess, that struggle to breed mountain cloud minnows. I've had mine for months and months and months inside, and I've never seen a fry. Seen them do spawning behavior, but never seen anything. I moved them outside in a pond. Within 2 weeks, I now have my first fry of mountain cloud minnows. I mean, it was like, you know, a magic trick. And so later in this video, I'm going to go outside and show you the very simple, sort of pretty ugly pond setup that I have, but it's clearly working for them. Those vinegar eels have been game changers. Outside, I've also got going cultures of mosquito larvae, and I'll show you how I've been doing that. That's worked great for my pea puffers and larger fish. Guppies have been loving them, mollies. And then, unexpectedly, I also was able to culture some midge fly larvae, which are more commonly referred to as bloodworms in the aquarium world. So I have some live bloodworms that I'm also culturing, and I can show you how I've been doing that. But the mountain cloud minnows outside have been growing up on these vinegar eels fast, and I would say I have about 20 of them. And they're of the long fin variety, so we'll see how the babies turn out, because the parents all had some pretty long finnage. I've got some new plants coming in today for this tank. I had to do an order for I'm trying the aquarium co-op snail trap, which I'm hearing good things about, and so of course, to justify free shipping, I had to throw some more plants in there too. It's just, you know how it goes. So let me pause here. We'll get some footage of the other live cultures that I have going between the mosquito larvae and the bloodworms put in here in the middle. And then the next time when I come back to this, we'll have popped outside to where I have my ponds. Who's a good boy, Bubba? Okay, everyone, so I promised you a super ugly pond setup, and here you have it. All of the stuff here is basically from scraps that I had laying around, or from old planters that I could use from people who were getting rid of them. So what I have over here, we'll start. These two are, you can see they're not screened in. So I'm using these as culturing pools for, this one's been primarily mosquitoes, but I just harvested all of them out, I would say a day or two ago. And as you can see, they have not really come back yet. But when it's full, you'll be able to see all the larvae around the edge of the water, and they're just kind of chilling, and you can go around and scoop them all out. Next door, this is where I started more with old fish water, and you can see the little wrigglers in there. I have better footage that I'll show after I've harvested these worms, so you can actually see them, but these are actually midge fly larvae, and you can see they like to start in a lot of the mulm and waste that I have in there. And really all I did was start with that and leave the water out. And sure enough, these guys showed up. So my fish have been going crazy for some of the live food. In this black planter here is where I have shrimp and the main colony of mountain cloud minnows that I've moved out, and I realize you're not going to be able to see a lot in here. I just want to show you what I've got. So in here, it's just a bunch of guppy grass, red root floaters, and then as you can see, I've got some spawning mops deployed in 3 different areas. I don't even know if you can see the fish through there. because it's such a bad view. But they were able to make for me all of these tiny, let me see if I can get it. Yep, there, it's focusing in for just a second. I had them. They're very, very small. We'll see if I can find them again. There's one on the top. And again, the cool thing is I've never been able to have these fish make fry for me until I moved them outside. So it's really just been as simple as letting them do their thing. I waited a couple weeks, and he came out and I found a bunch of fry. And then from there, I moved the fry into a separate grow out tank where I can target feed them and where they don't have to worry about the adults eating them, because the adults definitely do try. So again, this is my super ugly outdoor pond setup for the first time, and overall a success because you know, it seems that moving them outside was a big deal. So let's pop back inside. I'll show you some of the live cultures and finish up the video. Okay, we are back. Inside, it's pretty hot today, so it feels good. We'll probably be spending most of the day inside, but I thought I'd get a little shot of our new Krusty here in the video. He's been acclimating quite well, starting to eat pretty good for us, and he just cracks me up because this is how he likes to spend most of his day sleeping. He's just upside down, kind of like a bat, hanging. So to wrap this video up, I guess, I just want to talk about a few different plans that we have going for this room. I am just planning on continuing to elaborate on and making this room more, I guess I would say, capable of breeding different kinds of fish. So this tank, once we're through the parasite treatment, it's going to be torn down and sterilized and redone as a trapping tank. And what I mean by trapping, it's going to be for trapping egg scattering fish. I have quite a few fish in the fish room that I'd love to be able to get fry from, and because they're egg scatterers, they just don't do that very well in mixed tanks with other species. And so I'd like to have this tank set up to where I could put my pairs of scattering fish for the time being until I can collect eggs, and then they can be moved back into their, you know, community planted 20-gallon tanks from there. I'll have a video coming out on how I'm planning on making that trapping tank. If anybody is interested, it's definitely nothing that I originally came up with. It's just ideas that I've grabbed from online and came up with what I think will work best for my application. So I'll have that coming up. Then the other big change coming for this room is that as much as I love the bioactive terrariums in here, it's a small room and a small space, as you can see. So these terrariums are going to be going upstairs to another bedroom, and it's a little warmer upstairs, so it'll be easier to keep them at the right temp and hopefully preserve some humidity, because where we live it's pretty dry typically. And then that'll clear up some space so that on this rack here I can finish building it out as just a 10-gallon rack of tanks, minus this. Obviously I have a 20-gallon on the bottom right here, but then this whole space and the rest of this space on the table are all going to be filled with you know, probably 3 or 4 more 10-gallon tanks. And then on this side of the fish room, where we have this terrarium right now, is just going to be another rack similar to what we have right here. But it's not going to have 20 gallons. I think it'll be a little bit bigger, and it'll probably have a couple 40-gallon breeders on it, and then I don't know what we'll do with the rest of it yet, but that's going to be the plan for how the fish room is going to continue to grow. So I think that's just about it for this video. Certainly, let me know if you have any questions or comments about how I've been doing my ponds. I think going forward into next summer, this summer I just wanted to make sure I could do it without killing fish, and it's been really, really successful. So I think I'll move towards setting up more permanent pond setups in the backyard in the future, and those will be some fun videos to set up. But that's long term, obviously. So for now, I'll sign off and thank you for watching, and just keep an eye out for more videos to come, and hope your fish are doing well as you.